achieve here in the next season, and the partnerships. And you get a real sense of the energy and the kind of like the relationship that the players have in their duos as well here, which is really exciting. Also really cool, which is happens in the player lounge here. You get to meet a lot of the family around the kind of players as well here. Players from all over the world. You get to see their kind of their friends, their kind of like their closest who have come to embrace this amazing experience. Obviously the audience, who I love you guys already, like we've mentioned for 5 minutes, and you're brilliant. Has been really special and something really kind of, always learning about backstories and stuff as well. But actually here in the player lounge, they were here till quite late last night. Everyone was kind of grinding, kind of making the most of their time they actually have here to kind of practice ahead of what's going to be, 12 games, 6 games today, 6 games tomorrow. Don't forget as well, I'm sure that tonight after the first 6 games, there's VOD reviewing, going back, looking to see exactly how they can perfect their game, go into that second day where things are really going to count, courtesy of the elimination points and of course those standing points as well. Now that I'm going to hand back to you guys, I'm going to kind of remain kind of cool, fresh and calm back here. It's very quiet right now and there's lots and lots and lots for me to going to do, courtesy of some basketball and some fun stuff behind me.
Did you say basketball? I'll be right there. Actually, I'll be there in a little bit. Guys, as we continue to talk, I wanted to highlight another duo. Just throw out. I'll go ahead and say this is probably my personal favorite duo. It's Paper. It's Victor V. I mean, come on. We saw these guys compete, and Victor V, I feel like University's won over everyone, right? To come out, to be paired up with someone like Paper, to just kind of take him under his wing and then say like, okay, Victor V, oh wow, you're just eliminating everything. You're going absolutely crazy. Sounds good.
You know, how I was kind of referencing them in Major 3, I was like, oh, Paper, this long-standing veteran, and Victor V, the new blood. And then I actually look back, and Victor V's been competing for quite a while at such a young age, and to perform at the level that he has is so impressive. And I mentioned one coach, I gotta mention another, Victor V's dad. What an incredible coach. That little video that they released before the Global Championships, I am absolutely in love with this whole team of Paper and Victor V.
Yeah, they're like the brotherly duo, aren't they? Even when they were doing the walkout, sort of hopping over each other.
Great.
That's so cool. I love them. I'm interested to see how they're going to do. Of course, they seem to be uncontested at the moment towards that central area of the map. Interested to see what happens there. And I was speaking to Victor the other day after their media day. I said, oh, how was the media day? Did you enjoy being on camera? He said, yeah, I was kind of a bit nervous. I was like, are you more nervous for that in the game? And he said, yeah, I'm more nervous for the media day questions and stuff than the actual game itself. So he's looking confident, feeling confident as well. And I like the dynamic that they have with each other. That helps so much, especially for someone like Victor, who is young, he's new to this sort of in-person event. It's just going to help settle the nerves so much.
Yeah, there's kind of this dialogue of how a lot of these duos, a lot of these players, when they do break up, they kind of tend to pick someone that's already been established, a veteran. And the question is, why aren't they picking these kind of young bloods? Why aren't they picking these like young WK Kings that can really evolve, especially if we have a very established IGL? And that's exactly what Paper did. He knew, he already read the strategy book, and picking a Victor V clearly worked out in his favor because here they are on the global stage.
It's just wild. I mean, once again, we just want to continue to remind you guys just how much talent is on this stage, how many majors we've gone through, how many duos fought to the very end to try and make it here to compete on this stage. And now they're going to compete in front of all of you for a title to prove that they are the best. And now that we're kind of like mixing regions, it's not even just like, hey, which region is the best? No, it's just who's got the title and who doesn't.
I mean, I think when you talk about regions too, what's so exciting is that when these smaller regions really do pop off, we were already talking about Jerome and MK Papa, but I want to know who is going to be popping off today. Are we going to have one of these smaller regions really showing up the rest of NA and EU?
Yeah, I mean, for me, that was King and Phaser. I thought these guys were going to be the best of those smaller regions. Of course, so much experience on stage. Because they won Major number 3 as well, so they seem to know how to play in their own region as well, as we already know. I think that was kind of a little bit of a question mark now that they might be contested by one of our teams. So they already had a really good drop spot. I'm intrigued as to how that off-spawn battle is going to go, because I don't think it's necessarily going to work in their favor at that particular middle of the map drop spot.
And speaking of other smaller regions as well, we already talked about Haman and Cal Gamer. But FKS and Adapter, that one team to take away that one win from them in Major 2. So another incredible duo here that might be showing up, although they are contested as well.
Yeah, they are. They're sort of like that mini Olympus area, just the north side of that. I'm intrigued about what they're going to do there. Whether one of those teams decides if they do win off spawn, maybe they go towards that north side of that Grand Glacier area. If the fight does take a little bit longer, maybe that could be a good opportunity if they get some Storm Surge as well. Even those static launch pads that are nearby as well, they can get up on that hill, base up a little bit as well. well, so they have so many different options at their disposal. And I mean, Cal Gamer and his teammate as well. What a duo to talk about, because I love the way that Cal Gamer carries himself, right? He's one of those players that's just like, he's so cool. Like, he never shows any nerves, and you can see why. He is so good on Middle East. I believe he's got the highest amount of damage this entire chapter as well. So he is one of those players that can perform on LAN. It's all about what that off-spawn situation is going to do, because we saw it at the last Global Championships, contested in both the upper and the lower bracket, and they didn't make it to the grand final. So I'm hoping now they can hopefully fix a few of those off-spawn mistakes.
Okay, I want to circle back here. Booga of Thief. All right, let's talk about this guy for it. No, but yeah, you guys can cheer. It's okay. It's okay.
Allowed.
Yeah, Booga. I mean, dude, you know, when we think about Fortnite, if you're someone who's like never heard of Fortnite at all, but someone says Booga, you're like, yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I know Booga is, right? I want to see this guy win a global championship title. To just have like every single title imaginable, like it just would cement him forever, right? He's already regarded as like this incredible player. And when you have as many like accolades as him, like people would just, they would trade it all to even have like even half of those accolades.
And just how, you know, just how strictly people look at Booga, where if he's not getting first, then he's getting last. I don't understand how the community could ever say like, oh, Booga's washed, oh, he didn't win global championship.
I don't get it.
But then he gets the back-to-back wins between chapters 3 and 4, and then of course going for 3rd place in Major 1 is 7th place in Majors 3, and they did split up in Major 2, but obviously they felt some kind of synergy. They understood that this was the duo to make their ticket into the global championships.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out when they split duos. They of course came back together, and that's really difficult to do when you're a team that has had a little bit of success before, split up, come back together. What are the vibes going to be like there, right? It's like, hang on a sec, you just dropped me and now you're coming back to ask if we can play. So it's nice to see them still performing well. I genuinely think this is a really good chance of them getting a top 5, maybe even the win, depending on how the weekend goes, because their situations seem to just work out really nicely for them. I mentioned it earlier, they can go towards that east side, towards that castle. Lots of different teams, even to the north of the castle as well, that are going to be landing there. So interesting for those early storm surge damage. And even if they do get a little bit of their loot stolen from that gas station to the south of their drop, I still don't think they're going to be in trouble. I still think this is a team that can pull it out of the bag. Much like Acorn and Cole, when it comes to the end game, they're still going to be looking stacked because they can find those eliminations.
Yeah, I mean, Booga, an incredible IGL, and then Aviv grabbing all of those eliminations as well. And the loot, like you were talking about, the loot that they walk out of that POI is absolutely ridiculous. They are stacked by Zone 2, and no one wants to face them. Although, a cute little caveat for the moments that we got to see in the Cash Cups, where he saw Peter Ba and Poi. Booga and Aviv were currently in first place after game number 5 from the recent with Cash Cups, but Peter Ba and Poi, you know that they want that win, win before the global championships. And so they literally left the forecast tower, the only time that Clix and Veno got that forecast tower, and wanted to chase Booga and Aviv. And Booga and Aviv saw the token, saw that little glowing around them. They knew that that was where the coin was, and ran away. But again, it worked out in their favor because Booga and Aviv came out on top.
Just crazy stuff, man. I am so hyped to start the competition. It is almost that time. Acorn and Cold, though, we have to mention these guys, right? We got a little taste of these duos. And I mean, we can't forget as well, Cold also walked away at EWC with a win, right alongside Ritual. So he's already got this confidence in him. You've got Acorn right there, ready to go. I mean, do we think these guys could go? Like, could they make that top 5? Could they win it all?
So day 1, we asked the question, you know, as a fun little thing, who do we think is going to win the global championships? And I said Acorn and Cold way back when. I mean, after their run that they had last year, it was absolutely phenomenal. Getting 7th place in the global championships for 2023 just solidified their spot as 2 of the GOATs of Fortnite. And then they do it again, winning Major 1 once again this year. They just the way that they synergize together, the IGLing, the fragging, it is perfection.
Yeah, it is. I think it's all about that off-spawn battle for me down there at Brutal Beachhead. Andalex and Sato, these guys are not a bad team in any regard. I mean, they're here, so that says it all. I mean, Andalex being around the block, being a very experienced player over on EU. Sato, more of an upcoming player, and he is really good as well. He's one of those players that lots of people have got their eyes on as some up-and-coming talent in the EU scene. And I think this is a team that, yeah, they're probably going to try and play a little bit slower off-spawn. They're not necessarily going to try and finish the fight too quickly. As I mentioned earlier, they might try try and dip on out. I'm not too sure how splittable Brutal Beachhead is, so if both teams decide to try and stay, there might be a little bit of an engagement there, but I think both teams would be more than happy to kind of just dip out.
I think you're right. I think Sato's going to grab a few chests and dip.
Okay, all right, I like it. We just got word. We're gonna check out the Creator Lounge. We've got a little interview lined up with Blake in Somerset.
I told you guys earlier, the Creator Lounge was all about getting in contact with some of the influencers around Fortnite, and we're joined by the awesome Somerset and the awesome Blake. Thank you guys so much for joining us. First and foremost, how's the event so far?
It's been amazing. Meeting the fans, a surreal experience. I couldn't expect anything more.
And Blake?
It's been crazy. We walked in, we were literally getting swarmed, taking pictures for like an hour, trying to find this Creator Lounge. But I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited to see the event.
Blake, I gotta ask you, right? You know, you have a lot of experience playing in competitive. You've played against a lot of the players on that stage. Who are you looking at thinking, this is the best player in the tournament right now, these are the teams to beat?
I mean, obviously we got to look at Peterbot and Poyo. You know, they won back-to-back FNCSs. They're coming out looking like the favorites to win. But, you know, there's 4 teams at their POI. Another team I want to look at is Clicks and Vino. But they're being surprise con by some OCE team. So we got to see how it plays out, but I'm excited.
Somerset, listen, an event of your own coming up, right? Big competition on the horizon. How are you feeling for that?
Stressed, happy, sad, I don't know, everything, mix of emotions, but, you know.
Awesome to get that insight, though, from a competitor's standpoint, because we got all those competitors out on the stage.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at the venue so far, people packing in, do you yourself even, you know, remember back when you used to play a lot and get nervous about, you know, just how many fans are there waiting for you? Like, how does the nerves factor in when you're up there on that stage?
I mean, I feel like most of these pros on this stage are experienced, and I don't think the nerves are really affecting them. And for the new timers, like the one-time land qualifiers, like they're gonna feel it game 1 dropping in. Once they land on that map, they're gonna be good. The nerves are gone, they're locked in, they're ready to win.
And obviously you both are just awesome content creators. Any content gonna be coming from you guys from the event? And if so, let everybody know where you guys can, or where they can check them out.
Somerset with an O, no U, but anywhere on any social.
Yep. We'll be doing a meet and greet in the main lobby at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. I'll be IRL streaming it at twitch.tv/Blake.
Awesome stuff there, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. And for now, we got more coming your guys' way.